Next up, linebackers coach, Coach Jason Semore. We'll open it right for questions. Kelly?
I guess how's it felt to be back here and doing work with guys some of them, and just kind of getting back into the rhythm of being able to play?
It's been a real blessing for me from the player standpoint. Last time I was here, a lot of these guys were younger in the developmental stages and things like that, and now they're upperclassmen and they're grown men. So I have a relationship with them already previously, and it's really cool to be back and see how far along the program has grown those guys as players and as men, with the maturity and all those kind of things. So that part of it's really fun with the players. Okay, probably the most exciting piece for me, but also the relationships that I had here on the staff and in the Georgia Tech community with the athletic department and stuff like that. So it's been awesome. It's been a blessing. It's been a lot of fun.
But Ron?
You're familiar with a guy like Charlie Thomas.
Sure.
Before he came back, but you had a couple guys like Ace and Cornelius.
Mm-hmm.
What is your first impression of those guys?
They're two different individuals, that's for sure. Ace has kind of established himself as the leader on our side of the ball. He's very mature. He's a grown man. He has nailed down the process of being a big-time college football player and preparing like a professional. Ace is different and unique because he understands the value of the guys around him playing well in order for him to have success. So he affects the other guys in ways that is unique in this game, especially in today's society that's very me-driven, right? Ace pours himself into other dudes. Sky's the limit as far as Cornelius potential-wise. He has the potential to be an NFL linebacker. He's still growing with his daily process of preparation and continually trying to get better. He's a young man that loves football, so the effort piece is always there, which is kind of the backbone of our culture and how we grow and develop guys. So really, sky's the limit for him, and he understands. Like I tell all my guys, you guys have potential over here, but potential doesn't do anything if you don't get results from it. And how do you get results? You focus on everything that has nothing to do with results. All your studying, your preparation, your consistency as far as showing up and doing things the right way. So Trin has made a lot of improvement from the time that I got here until now in terms of just being consistent, but sky's the limit for him as a player. Yep.
Ken?
Charlie, you see him almost being ability, like kind of a hybrid defensive back linebacker.
Absolutely, and that's kind of where we're growing right now. So we're searching for, we have a plan in terms of structure, what kind of plays we want to run, how we want to pressure, how we want to do coverages. Right now we're growing with our identity and finding what guys can do. We know that Charlie's a big piece of that because of the flexibility that he has. You find out in this league, going back and doing all the self-scouting stuff when I first got here, the offenses in this conference are a problem because of the multiplicity. You play 12, 13 personnel teams like Boston College and Notre Dame and Virginia Tech. Then you go play spread, throw it around teams, right? So when you build the structure of your defense, you have to identify dudes that have position flexibility and build the scheme around that. We're in the process of doing that. And Charlie's a huge piece of the puzzle and a big part of what we're going to do schematically because he can do both. He's a rare dude that can blitz, he can fit the core, and he can cover people, right?
Obviously, you still have a couple guys who are not 100% good Tyson.
Yep.
But you came here, you guys had not much linebacker. Slowly did sort of this build up even here.
Sure.
Where you have 6 guys, 7 guys. You're finally sort of there. How much of a difference does it make when you have D9 or Franks or even Kyle as a young guy, like actually having the bodies down and to rep
Sure.
guys and stuff?
It's big time. I'm fortunate on our side of the ball and globally on the team. I have a deep room with a lot of experience and a lot of good players. That helps you in multiple ways as a position coach managing your room. It helps you because whenever you have competition in a room, which we do, Ace and Charlie are really good players, and they're probably going to be all ACC caliber dudes. but Demetrius and Trent and guys like that are dudes that are going to push them in practice. And they're dudes that provide depth for us in a lot of different ways. So it's easier for me to manage rep counts. It's easier for me to evaluate. And then when you talk about what I mentioned earlier, just from growing a position room culturally, when you have that experience staggered all the way down to younger guys, it helps me because, right, we tell our guys what's expected of them. We set high standards, right? But unless guys' teammates aren't the ones holding each other accountable to those things, then it's just coach driven and you're always rowing uphill. I have the luxury in my room where there's established leadership and there's older dudes that have experience that can mentor the younger guys and hold each other accountable, right? The iron sharpens iron theory, right? So I'm very fortunate and lucky. It's a lot of fun to coach those guys. You're not always in that position as a college football coach.
Talking about David Franks, he's been a kid that's been dealing with injuries this first couple of years here.
Sure.
How much catching up does he have to do to get up with those guys?
Mentally, this game is always going to favor guys with reps. The game's going to slow down for the guys that know what they're supposed to do pre-snap and know what they're supposed to look at and play fast. He just needs reps, accumulated reps, and to stay healthy doing that because he's a good player. He's a kid that I'm proud of the way that he's battled through the adversity of the injuries and stuff like that, and still has things that are nagging him that he's fighting through, right? For him, it's all about continuing to invest in the process and just being patient because we have a lot of talent, we have a lot of depth in the room. He's done a great job of investing in his teammates, taking accountability for all the things that we set as standards in our room. So this is kind of the year for him to start moving up the depth chart and trying to get and fighting to get on the field and stuff like that. And he's off to a good start this spring.
Ken?
You touched on a little bit of basketball, Charlie. How different will the defense be just kind of philosophically?
Sure. We'll do a lot of the same things that Coach Collins did at Temple in our first year here. Just personnel-wise and how we schematically structure our defense will be a little more personnel-driven, where bodies are lined up, where is speed lined up on the field, where are tight ends lined up on the field. Charlie gives us that flexibility, and he's a really smart football player and allows us to move him around within the structure of the defense to get matchups that we want, because that's another way people put stress on you in this league, right? You got a little DB and a tight end's right there, and he's blocking him at the point of attack. That's a problem, right? So Charlie gives us the flexibility to do that within the scheme and within the structure.
Time for a couple more. Kelly?
With you were talking about scheme and structure and all these things, having Coach Long's offense and the tempo and that piece, and that puts a lot of stress on linebackers. How helpful is it to have that every day for them to see that?
Yeah, it's what they do offensively is a problem, right? It's great for us. It's great for us because we're seeing we're showing up to the classroom and it's calculus every day instead of addition subtraction, right? So when we get through spring ball, I can promise you there's not going to be an offensive structure or a motion or a play that we haven't seen in rep, and it's huge for us defensively, especially in this league because it's what we see, from teams like Pitt and stuff like that. So it's a big time advantage for us. There's assignment busts and frustration and things like that growing within the scheme, but these are all things where, especially in my room because I have an experienced room, right? I think those guys understand the value of what we're seeing offensively, because when we get into the season and you only have 4 days to game plan somebody and they're running a completely different offensive structure with different personnels than you've seen in the previous 4 weeks, right? Well, we've seen it all. You know what I mean? So for us, from a defensive standpoint, it's fantastic. And it's also really good for us just building confidence as a team, seeing those guys have the success that they're having with what they're doing inside of a new offense. So we're really excited about it.
Anything else? Okay.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate that.